Yeah, good morning. It's Bang Bang Ray Hill. Listen, I've been carrying on about Ben Etchett for quite some time. I apologise. You've got to have a bit of bottle to get in the ring with anybody, really. And Ben's done a good thing. He's still got in the ring with someone. He still boxes. Anything can happen in the boxing ring. So yeah, he done quite good, mate. To get in the ring and to fight, and you never know, you might get a punch come out the blue from someone else, and it could cause serious damage. So yeah, fair play to you, Ben. Fair play to you, mate. And I apologise for saying what I'm saying, but I still want Fish to fight you. Anyway, yeah. Do you know what? I've been privileged over the years. We was talking about. I went on to see some people last night with my son, and we was talking about Roy Shaw, Lenny McLean, and Lou Yates, Cliff Fields, and all them sort of people. Yeah, and I was quite privileged to meet Roy Shaw. Roy Shaw was one of the people that I've ever sparred with. It was a name. Roy Shaw was a very very hard man. Um, I didn't want to really fight him as such. You know, he was the governor at that time. Really, I think he fought Lenny and beat Lenny, but he was the governor. Um, and it's good to get in the ring with him, spar with him, and talk to the guy and give him respect. You know what I mean? And saying to me that I'm gonna go a long way because I could bang, and I was in the ring with him sparring, and he knew that. Yeah, but respect it and get all that respect from me. You know what I mean? And what happened to him in his life? Look, Roy Shaw went through a lot. You know, he done Broadmoor. He done Parkhurst, and he was a man to look up to. He's been through it all. Armed robberies. He's a proper man, and I have big respect for Roy Shaw. And then Lenny McLean. Lenny McLean's got a big name. Him and Roy really brought street fighting and unlicensed fighting to the front. They were the two people that brought it to the front. Roy Shaw and Lenny. I mean, Lenny was lucky in a way. Well, not really. I mean, Frankie Warren was lucky in a way that he had Lenny. Lenny was his cousin. I think Lenny uh, brought him forward. You know, Frankie Warren. I don't think Frankie Warren would have been the man he is today without Lenny McLean. You know, Frankie Warren is one of the top promoters that there is. But would he have been there if it wouldn't have been for Lenny McLean? I mean, Lenny McLean really made him, and also Frankie Warren made Lenny McLean. I mean, I think Lenny had about 12, 13 fights. But they were fights. I mean, he went to America, I believe. I'm not quite sure it's true, to fight someone. He went all around to fight people. I don't think he won many fights. He might have won about 7 or 8 fights out of 12, 13 what he had. But Lenny McLean was a name. Everybody respected him. He became an actor. He became a good actor. I mean, really. I mean, for what his life was about, he became a good actor, mate. Lenny McLean. And I'm only sorry that he died. Rest in peace, Lenny McLean, and rest in peace, Roy Shaw. I mean, to die a millionaire. I mean, later on, he became a millionaire for the films and the books. I mean, I think Roy Shaw, maybe sold a million 50, million five books that he wrote. Lenny McLean, I think he sold quite a few million books. I mean, you've only got to earn £1 a book. That's a lot of money, isn't it? It's a lot of money, and he died a millionaire. And actor, he could act, didn't he? He was a good actor, Lenny McLean. I mean, you see him in all them films, Lock, Stock, all them sort of films, and he looked powerful, and he was powerful. You know what I mean? He got in the ring, showed who he was, and he could have it, mate. I mean, he could have it, Lenny. I sparred with Lenny quite a few times. Personally, no one says someone could beat them, or he could beat me, I could beat him, but I could beat him. I could beat Lenny. Lenny's saying that he could beat me. Of course, he's going to say that. He's a man. He's a man's man. Same as Roy. He's a man's man. But Lenny, of course, I have respect for Lenny McLean. Of course, come on, I have respect for Lenny McLean. His name was quite frightening. Everybody around him. I mean, Lenny. If you was with company in Lenny, when I see Lenny at the Rainbow, he's quite you know, you look at him, he's impressive. You know what I mean? He's got that stare about him, that glare about him. You know, he looks at you with them eyes of his. He does, you know. And even when I see him other fights, sitting down at the tables, you know, with Roy Shaw, even Roy Shaw together, you know, and you see them with Frankie Wine. I mean, it seems strange now to see Frankie Wine the way he talks about boxing. Good promoter, Frankie Wine, you know. But he was very close with a guy called Vic Andretti. I mean, him and Vic Andretti were very close. I mean, Vic Andretti used to be he used to train all the boys. I'm sure he used to train Lenny, because when I used to go down the Ring pub and we used to go upstairs, he was always wrapped around Lenny McLean, you know, and Vic Andretti was one of the best trainers ever. He was a good trainer, Vic Andretti. I think he trained Nigel Benn, I'm not quite sure. But I like Vic. I used to like Vic, talking to Vic. He's a funny old guy. And he was an hard man, and he used to train Lenny. And I'm not quite sure if he trained him. People who do my comments knew if he did or didn't. But as I say, Lenny made Frankie Warren, and Frankie Warren made Lenny. Yeah, Lenny. I mean, Frankie Warren come Frankie Warren after Lenny died. Really, become a promoter, a good promoter, and I mean, I remember when they done a video called Box On. I'm on that Box On. I'm on that Box On, but you can't really see me. I'm on it. Yeah, I see myself getting the ring. But that made Frankie Warren. Frankie Warren, I remember Frankie Warren and Vic Andretti saying "fuck the boxing board of control." Sorry for swearing, but that's what they said. But fuck the boxing board of control. They're no one, yeah. But the boxing board of control has made Frankie Warren a multi-millionaire, and fair play to him, mate. I'm really gutted that I didn't go forward like that, yeah. But I decided to take the other end of it and do armed robberies and become a pain in the butt, yeah. I looked at myself as a bad gangster, and I was, you know. And as I say, I respect Roy and I respect Lenny very much. There was a lot of fighters around that time. I mean, what's happened to them? You know, what's happened to them? We know they all a lot of them died. You know, like Colombo. You know, them fighters, their history, mate. Their history. They made unlicensed fights. They're the ones that made it. They made unlicensed fighting. Without them, I don't think it'd have been what it is today. And what it is today isn't anything comparison to them. You had quite a few people. You had Lloyd Wolfen, black guy. He was another one, a very hard man. I mean, he you know, and you had, you had Chippendale, Danny Chippendale, another good fighter. People don't hear a lot about Red Gutridge. Not Gutridge, is his name Reg Gutridge? I'm not sure. Anyway, people will know who he is. Gutridge, good fighter, mate. Cliff Fields. Cliff. Me and Cliff go a long way together. Cliff Fields, very powerful, very hard man, yeah. Doesn't really say too much. He hasn't got to say too much. He was a very hard man. He beat most of them, what there was to beat. So I worked with him, he worked with me, or he worked with Jimmy Tibbett. But I respected him, Cliff Fields, good man. And I was a bit upset when I see a friend of mine, Matt Legg. He put a picture up of Cliff Fields when he was in a calf, and after he lost his eye. It hurt me, yeah, to see that guy about what I don't know, 11 stone. You know, you got a big guy, 19 and a half, 20 stone, mate, and then you see him later on absolutely withered away. He'd gone. You know, he just they beat him, mate. They beat him and he just give up, you know what I mean? And to see that man like that, it just broke my heart, mate. It broke my heart because the guy was a friend of mine, you know. And Matt Legg didn't. Matt Legg only put it out as a picture. He didn't realise the pain it would cause, yeah. But Matt Legg, look at Matt. He's a fantastic fighter. He's gone forward now. If he'd have been around at that time, he might have been the governor because Matt Legg was is a good fighter. You know, yes. The fighters, Gutridge, he was a good fighter, very powerful man. But I mean, not Lenny, sorry, Cliff Fields smashed him all around the ring for a £10,000 purse on that box on video. I mean, look at Lou. Is it Lou Yates? I didn't. I didn't know Lou Yates. I heard about him, but I didn't hear about him as a unlicensed fighter. I heard about him as a very, very hard, tough man, but I didn't know he was doing unlicensed fighting. I never got to see him fighting in the ring, fighting Roy or anybody really. I never got to see that. Maybe I was in prison because I was always in and out of prison. That's what my life consisted of, going in and out of prison. I wasn't a very good armor, but I was always getting caught, but that's life. I had plenty of money later on in my life, but I lost all that as well. Big confiscation orders, as you do. And anyway, I'm gutted. I'm gutted the way it's gone now. All them fighters in them days, they're all proper men, proper men. And, what's happened to them, mate? They're all dead. And this is what they left behind. They left behind nothing, really. I mean, that was the times. Them unlicensed fighting in them days was the times. I mean, you didn't have to wait, 2 or 3 months to get fit to have a fight. You could fight any time you wanted to fight. You could get there and fight. If you want to fight, mate, you get in a ring and fight the next day. I mean, I was having 2 fights every month. You know what I mean? Every month. Sometimes I was having 2 fights a week. You know what I mean? It all depends how, if Jimmy Tibbet could find the opponents for me, And Jimmy Tibbet, I mean, he was a fantastic trainer, Jim. I mean, me and Jim trained, 5 days a week? 5 days a week in the Beckett. I mean, Jimmy used to get me running. He never used to get out of that car, mind you. But, I mean, Jimmy used to drive me maybe 6-7 miles away. And then say, I'll see you later. I'll see you later. And I'll run home, yeah? And not run to it, but he'd drive me to a place 8-9 mile away, drop me off and say, I'll see you there, yeah? Right, give me a time. You say, right, but be there at that time. I had my own watch and I say, and I try to get there at that time. When you first start, you're like, half an hour, 3/4 an hour late, But when you start getting yourself really fit, I mean, I used to do a lot of Russian pulse rate running. That's like run maybe 100 yards, turn round, walk back, check your pulse, see what your pulse is until it goes back to normal, then bump off again. And I used to do that, and it get so good that your pulse becomes nearly normal after about 10 seconds, 5 seconds, and then you're getting really fit. It might take a minute or 2 minutes to get back to normal when you first start. But yeah, good trainer, Jim. I mean, he was the one that made me train with sand and bricks in my pack and run with boots on and all that, And I loved Jimmy Tibbet, mate. He trained me really, really well. He was a very, very hard man, and he used to make sure that I was always around, make sure that I was always up, and he'd come around my house, and he earned a lot of money out of me. I'm not bothered about the money he earned out of me, you know what I mean? But he did earn a lot of money out of me, side bets and all that. I mean, I never really lost that many fights, maybe 2 or 3, but, I mean, we all lose fights, we all get beat, we all get hit on the chin, and that's what's good about heavyweight fights, especially unlicensed fighting. You know what I mean? You can get really, really hurt unlicensed fighting, because unlicensed fighting is you can get disqualified, but they can disqualify you about after 2 or 3 times. So if a geezer jumps out of ring, jumps in the corner and runs at you and nuts you and splits your eye open, listen, one more time and you'll be expelled from the ring, and that's it, yeah. And that'd be it, like 2 or 3 of them, mate, it's all over, and you're finished. But yeah, I used to love it, mate. I used to love the unlicensed fighting. I miss very much all my mates in them days. There's a lot, maybe even watching my podcasts. They should get in contact with me, because I'm doing a book. As it happens, I've done a lot of book now. We've done about 100,000 words, and that is a book. But there's a lot of things got to come out. There's a lot of things got to go in it, yeah, back in it. And this book is going to be fantastic, mate. It's going to be really, really good. But I'm sorry for the way I've run Ben Benassi down. I didn't run him. Like, I'm not running him down, I'm just want to get. I just want to get a bit of banter going with Fish. I'd love to see him and Fish fight. Of course I would. You know what I mean? That's what it's about. Uh, as I said, Ben's a lot of bottle to get in the ring and fight. It doesn't matter if you're fighting some bum. That some bum can fire a punch, hit you on the chin, and kill you. And it's that easy you can get killed easy. Even get killed in the chest, have a heart attack or whatever. So to get in the ring, fair play to you, Ben. Old man's up to you, mate. I know I didn't like the fight she fought, but fair play to you getting in the ring, and I apologise for being an arsehole in lots of ways, yeah. But I apologise. I've been told off by KINTV, my mate Christian, saying you should leave him alone, which is right. I mean, he was in prison. He done his little bit of bird. He's come out. He's trying to go forward, and I wish him all the best, Ben Hatchett, mate. Ben Hatchett has written a book too. I'm not quite sure the name of the book, but he has written a book, so check it out. I want him to go a long way. He's all right. He's a nice kid. You know, he's a nice kid, and he's going to go a long way. He's got people behind him. Fair play to him, yeah. And all I want, I love unlicensed fighting, yeah. To go back to what it was in them days. It was good fighting in them days. I used to love it, but you miss the people that was behind it. All the there's some good people behind it, mate. The unlicensed fighting, I loved it, and but I'm sure it's all over. Anyway, this is Bang Bang Rail. Please press the like button and subscribe. Have a nice day, yeah. Bye bye.